Disenchantment is the legendary Matt Groening's latest TV romp. Did you say Matt Groening? Matt Groening? I didn't even know. We had the present, we had the future, and now we logically have the past. We follow the tale of a misfit drunken princess who doesn't really want to be a princess. Her two companions, Elvo the elf and Abby the demon, who act as the angel and the devil on her shoulder, and a bunch of other characters in this ancient sword and sorcery world. I'm gonna give the first season, that's 10 episodes, 4 out of 6 brutal deaths that don't faze anyone. It has a lot of potential and I did thoroughly enjoy it, but it fell a bit flat at times. I'm sure if given time to find its feet, it will turn into something fantastic. However, it is off to a great start, so check it out if you haven't already. If you want to stick around to see how I came to this conclusion, please do. Otherwise, check out one of my other videos. Or don't. Do whatever makes you tingly inside your pants, man. Megamech spoilers for season 1 of Disenchantment ahead. So this will be a pretty short review, so let's talk pros and cons. Pros: amazing voice cast. All the leads are sensational and the secondary characters are tops too. You will hear familiar voices from Groening's previous show, new voices, celebrity voices, and more. My favourites so far have been Matt Berry, who you should know from the IT Crowd and The Toast of London, who voiced Prince Merkemere, who later turns into a pig, and Noel Fielding, who voiced Stan the Executioner. It's funny stuff. The show is comically violent, and maybe it's just my sick sense of humour, but I laughed out loud multiple times during this series, and I would say almost all of those times were during an act of violence, most commonly when someone impales themselves, which happens all the time, and it's great. Elvo, being the ignorant little elf accidentally stabbing the ogre in the eye during the first episode, was fucking hilarious. The world looks great. It's so vivid, colourful, and detailed. I love the Groening style animation with modern 3D rendering. There is always a hidden joke or Easter egg somewhere in the background, and in typical Groening style, there are heaps of pop culture references. What sets this show apart from the previous two Matt Groening works is that this show is not episodic. Not much anyway. That is, the story continues from one episode to the next. In each episode there is a little arc or adventure that concludes nicely at the end, but also there is a continuation of the larger story throughout the series. Unlike The Simpsons or Futurama, where you can pretty much watch any episode as a standalone, Disenchantment would be confusing if one were to do this. The story continues to grow as the season progresses, revealing secrets and mysteries as we go along. This makes the show very intriguing, which I like. Cons: it's a bit flat in parts and not all the jokes land. The longer episodes, sitting at around 28 minutes, might have something to do with this, but if you don't expect to laugh every 2 seconds, then the series is entertaining enough in other ways, not just the humour. The tropes are a bit obvious and cliche at times. The character's love arc is very similar to that of Fry and Leela in Futurama. The will they won't they is a bit tedious, and even though the show breaks the fourth wall from time to time to make fun of the obvious traits, it doesn't really excuse it. The medieval traits we have seen a lot of before in other shows and movies, but that isn't a huge issue as the cartoon is a comedy and obviously a parody of those tropes. Let's just say there are few surprises. Overall, however, Disenchantment is a fun ride. It looks fantastic, the music and audio is awesome, the characters are lovable and often hilarious, and the story is intriguing enough. The show ends with a cliffhanger and I look forward to seeing where that goes. I recommend giving this show a good shot, as I imagine like a fine wine, it will only get better with time. What did you think of Disenchantment? Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and all that shit if you want. Don't forget, every Sunday I put out a sci-fi discussion video where I talk about different cool sci-fi stuff. Have a bloody look at that if you want. Otherwise, don't. The choice is yours. Thanks for watching, friends.